Somebody asked me the other day, why this? My question is sometimes sort of, if I have to explain it, you probably won't understand.
What is Cocoafair? Well, up front we're just a chocolate factory, but not just another. Every batch of chocolate comes out is handcrafted. It's regularly tasted, it's not mass produced. So I'm there in the back with the machine room, constantly tasting every batch, tasting every half an hour, making sure that the chocolate comes out and fair as well in its stages. The bean and the roasting thereof, source that, make sure that the flavors are well rounded as well roasted. So I think that's a personal touch that I put into the chocolate, and that makes it very special, apart to the fact where chocolate is mass produced in this huge machinery and switch on, put on the button and boom, you knock out a batch of chocolate. There's no, I don't know, there's no TILO element in there, whereas here at Cocoafair there's that special kind of care that's been taken. I think Cocoafair draws a lot of its power or energy from being compared to other chocolate factories or chocolate producers around the world. Lindt, Valrhona, Velslin, Cocoa, Callebaut chocolates, and we draw a lot of energy from that being compared to those kind of guys, which means that we're playing with the big guys now. So we're not just really another chocolate factory, I suppose. I suppose we took the bull by the horns, and we're trying to produce and make that kind of quality chocolate here in South Africa, available at a good price to the locals, for the locals, really.
The whole business was formed on the idea of social entrepreneurship. Now, social entrepreneurship for me personally doesn't mean that we're a charity. It means that we're a business first, and it's how we conduct our business to deliver a positive impact in everything that we do. Now, the fair part in Cocoafair really comes from sourcing, where we source our products from. All our products are sourced, and beans are organic and fair trade, which means that the farmers get a bigger portion of the money down the supply chain. They're not exploited, and there's also not child labor involved in the cultivation and harvesting of cocoa beans. But also internally to our business, the ethos of the business is looking after our people, you know, how we make our product, what we put into it, how we take care of it. All our chocolate is really handmade and made with love and lots of passion behind it.
At the moment we have plus minus 10 to 12 staff members working here, and also some casuals as well. And what Cocoafair is all about is about also staff. You know, if you look at these machines making the chocolate from phase one to roasting the beans to actually winnowing it and actually conjuring these things are all fair and well, and it's all beautiful and makes beautiful chocolates. But what Cocoafair is all about is looking after the staff. You know, it's no use having all these beautiful chocolates and all of these beautiful flavors, but you don't look after your staff. In our 3.5 years of being Cocoafair, our staff members has phoned in sick less than 10 times. Our guys do not phone in sick, because the reason why is we empower them. We've got a saying that, you know, each staff member here has his own department to run. So we empower them, you know. So if one is absent or sick or late, it's a domino effect, and the whole thing collapses for that day. So instead of giving somebody $20,000 or 20,000 and increase a month or a year, you know, you empower them. And that's how we have such an awesome staff here, you know.
And then it's also how we play a role in our communities. By creating jobs in our community, by supporting other local businesses in our environment, where we can help and support them to create jobs again, which is a big thing and a big problem in South Africa. It has a big impact, I think, for anybody. If you can put food on your table, or you can allow your children to go to school, you give them a better opportunity over the long term to have a better life.
A lot of people go around in their life saying they want to do a change, they want to help somewhere, they want to change something, they want to be a part of something. And both the consumer and the producer now at Cocoafair can be part of that change. You, as a consumer, just be able to eat the chocolate. You are already helping us to help other people, to help the smaller producers around the world also.
There's the old saying that people vote with their feet or with their pockets, and it's definitely, I think, every consumer, if you take a conscious decision of you want to only buy organic products and products that you know exactly where it comes from, do it. And the more and more people that does this, the more and more the guys that are operating in this space will make more money and make their businesses more sustainable over the long term. It's not an easy fix, it's not going to happen overnight, but I think as a collective, if we stand together and start to change the perception out there, we start to educate people around what's happening, consumers educating each other, and also educating retailers. I think the pressure will come. That's how revolution starts. It starts with one person, and it builds momentum from there.
I can make as much chocolate as I want, organic or non-organic, whatever, but at the end of the day, if nobody likes my product, I can't make really much of a change. So I need to make a good product. Nobody wants to really, if you really look at it, nobody really wants to buy a chocolate that doesn't really taste so good just to save somebody else. It's a funny kind of a circle though. You still want quality, you still want something excellent, something pure, and a good priced. So if it doesn't fit that title, a lot of people don't really care what else goes with it. So I suppose the responsibility is still lying with us as the producer.
If you look at our prices that we charge in our little factory shop, we are actually, for an organic, handmade, artisanal product, we are cheaper than a mass-produced product like, premium product like Lindt. As for example, there are some other artisanal chocolatiers that charge more for their brands. I think it's, at the end of the day, it's around what's the type of margins you want to make. Making the product has its cost involved in it. Having to fight the exchange rate and having to fight increase in cocoa prices is one of the things we have to contend with. But making ridiculous margins as well, it's not where we decide to play. I think that's another part of the social impact we have. Why do you have to pay more for an organic and fair trade product? I don't see the reason for that. In the longer term, yes, the initial cost of setting up an organic farming has lots of costs and investment in the beginning of the operation, but longer term, the yields on organic farms tend to be a lot higher than on your normal farming practices. So it's not more expensive. To some extent, yes, our input product is more expensive because organic sugar is very expensive, but the real prices between organic cocoa beans and non-organic cocoa beans is not that significant. Also, deciding to support local companies in our area, it's just a business decision. We have to buy stationery, so why not buy it from the guy down the street instead of driving somewhere else or supporting another big company? Rather support the local smaller guys. And it doesn't necessarily always come at a cost. Sometimes you actually have savings because you're not dealing with big organizations. You also have your suppliers that, if they are smaller, more local suppliers, that give you a lot more quality and a lot better service than you would have when you're just a number on a big corporation's client list.
It was very attractive for me to be part of a chocolate factory, but now it's become something so much more. It's become a lifestyle, it's become an urge to create one of the best chocolates in the world, and I think Cocoafair is doing very well.
The most exciting thing is opening the door and smelling the cocoa. There's nothing like it. It's exciting, it's knowing that we are making a difference every single day in everything that we do.
But it's a beautiful chocolate. So that's why you've got less than 5 seconds to move it from here to there. So you've got about 120 molds, so that's 120 times up and down, up and down. That's why nobody's fat over here. We have 3 of these machines, one for milk, one for dark, and one for white one. The white one is a quite smaller one, and I wanted to see the white chocolate over here